Yo, what's up, everybody? First and foremost, before I even jump into the rant that I'm about to go on, I just want to say I apologize. I know I probably said this before, but hey, your boy got a job and it threw me off track for a little while. And so therefore, I needed some time to adjust to the job before I came back to doing what, I also love, which is talking about sports. So I apologize for taking this long off, but hopefully it doesn't happen again. But that's what happened. So, now let's get into it. Before he was even drafted into this league, before he was even drafted into the league, people were comparing him to such names as LeBron James. Who am I going to be speaking of? None other than Ben Simmons. Of course, he spent 1 year, one and done at LSU, finished that season, which I thought he should have probably came back for another season, because if you ask me, if you're going to be a number one draft pick, you have to at least make it into March Madness, which, if you remember that season, they went into NIT, which is like some secondary tournament for those who don't make it to March Madness. Another way for the NCAA to make more money, obviously. But again, when you are the repeat number one draft pick, I feel like that should be a qualification. Am I wrong? Let me know. It should be a qualification if you're going to be the number one draft pick to at least take your team to March Madness. At least make an appearance. I'm not saying you got to be the top seed in March Madness. You could be literally the 16th seed. I don't care. You just need to make an appearance in March Madness. He didn't do that. They fell short. And so I was like, maybe right then and there in my mind, I thought Ben's not quite ready for the NBA. But needless to say, everyone was googly eyes all over him, going crazy. Where's Ben Simmons going to go? Who's going to get the lucky draft pick to get Ben Simmons? I mean, even LeBron was kind of like, this kid's nice. We never really saw Ben Simmons shoot too much at LSU, but no one really thought about it that much until he got drafted. Philadelphia takes him number one. And that was, honestly, I thought Ben Simmons had been in the league longer, but when I looked up the stats on Ben Simmons, he's literally been in the league since 2017. 2018 was the NBA season for him, and he's been in there ever since. And so then I was like, you know what? People did compare Ben Simmons to LeBron. Let me compare the first 4 seasons of LeBron and Ben Simmons. To be fair, let's put this in the stature. LeBron was a freak of nature coming out of high school, went straight to the league, and he was 6'9". Okay. He went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I would guarantee, LeBron would have a ring right now. He would have an extra ring, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but I would be hard pressed to believe it, because even still, he managed to get his team into the playoffs. First of all, name the other 4 players in his rookie campaign that LeBron played with. I'll wait. Off the top of my head, I couldn't even tell you. I think nope, I couldn't even really tell you the 4 other players that played with LeBron in his rookie season, 03 to 04. If you can, I would love to drop a comment, whatever, but don't cheat. If you had to look it up, you're cheating. I said, name the other 4 players. I could even name the next player that was sat next to him on the bench. I couldn't even tell you that. But anyway, LeBron's season was 03 to 04. He averaged 20 points, 20.9 points, almost 21 points, basically 21 points that season. He had a free throw percentage of 75%, which, it's okay. It's okay. It's not great. He averaged 5.9 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and steals. He was a beast, though, 1.6 per game in assists. Now let's look at Ben Simmons' rookie season. Technically, I mean, when we think about his rookie season, Donovan Mitchell, technically, that year that he won Rookie of the Year, he should have won it, but whatever. So in the 2017-2018 campaign, how many games did Ben Simmons play that year? He played 81. He played 81 games. He averaged 15.8 points, almost 16 points. He had 1.7 steals, just a smidge better than LeBron in his rookie campaign. He did have 8.2 assists, which is great for a guy that's 6'11". I think that's what they have him marked him as right now. And whatever, his free throws, horrendous though. 56% at the free throw line. That's not great at all. That's, yeah, I don't think it truly really got better. But again, he was averaging 15.8. So as a rookie, you're like, okay, this is not bad. It's 5 points less than, technically 6 points less than what LeBron did. But you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe we do have a future LeBron on our hands, because a guy that size, that nimble, that agile, with the defensive mindset that he has, all he has to do is score, right? That's all you really want him for. I mean, scoring is the number one name in the game. You know, you got to put points on the table. So with that being said, LeBron, year 2, averaged 27.2 points per game. Year 3, he averaged 31.4. And year 4, he averaged 27, dropped down 3 points. Again, he went from 20 points to 27 points to 31 points to 27 points. Here is where we talk about Ben Simmons. Years 1 through 4. All right. Averaging points, 15.8. Second year, 16.9. Third year, 16.4. Fourth year, 14.3. 14.3. This is your number 1 draft pick. All right. Now, what are we supposed to do with this situation, right? He's your number 1 draft pick, and he's playing with Joel Embiid. Imagine LeBron James playing with Joel Embiid his first 4 years in the league. Matter of fact, let's be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. The year that the Raptors won the championship, that was the Sixers to win. The process would have been complete. Everything that Philly put in for. I mean, think about it. It's not even just the Joel Embiid. If LeBron had Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, who else? Seth Curry. I would mention Danny Green, but Philly, I'm not going to hurt your feelings like that. Danny Green has not been Danny Green since when he played with the Spurs. So, I mean, Danny Green at this point, he's more of a liability than an asset. And Danny Green, if you ever watch this, I'm not trying to take shots at you. I'm just being real. We need you in the clutch, and you got to hit clutch shots. And that's what you were brought in for. 3 points, man. 3 and D. But anyway, it's not about you right now. It's about Ben Simmons. Imagine LeBron, years 1 through 4. Let's say he went to the Philadelphia 76ers and Ben and LeBron swap places. If Ben and LeBron swap places, would Ben Simmons be the man that LeBron was in Cleveland?
No.
That's producer Alex right there, by the way. That was a quick no. Why do you say no?
Because it's Ben Simmons.
Because it's Ben Simmons. I mean, yeah, that's not fair.
It's not fair for you to compare him to LeBron James.
Do you? Well, here, let me ask you this question then. Would Ben Simmons, because I think LeBron had to do more. He had to shoulder more because he was on a team that, again, I asked the question, can you name the other 4 players playing with LeBron in his rookie year? Still waiting on that answer. No one. I don't know. I'm sure the people who actually played on the team with LeBron, they didn't even know they were on the team. But anyway, I think Ben Simmons would have had to do more. And he probably would have scored more points because he would have been the only person scoring.
And he would have crumbled with all of that responsibility.
I think so too. I think his mentality is not like Joel Embiid's. I think his mentality is not, he doesn't have that killer instinct. So
not everybody's meant to be the
number
leader.
1 guy.
Yeah.
The leader. But that's the problem when you have someone who has Ben Simmons' height, size, and ability. He's supposed to naturally kind of be that guy.
You think so?
He distributes the ball. But instead, I think Joel Embiid is the leader of that team. I think he's the heart and soul of that team. He gives that team that swagger, I think where LeBron has gone, he has given that team that swagger, whether he had the killer instinct at the time or not. I think he's always been the identity of those teams he's been on. The Philadelphia 76ers is not the identity of Ben Simmons. They're more the identity of Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons just happens to be on the team. Matter of fact, Joel Embiid is 1, and I would say Ben Simmons is 2, but I really wouldn't even say Ben Simmons is 2. Depending on if Tobias Harris is having a good game that night, Ben Simmons might be 3. But again, he's your number 1 draft pick. So what do you do in this situation? First of all, I hate how Ben Simmons handled this whole situation with the Sixers. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's a player empowerment league now ever since the decision came with LeBron. And he was like, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. But Ben Simmons, what have you done for the 76ers? Yes, you've been a multiple all-star. Yes, you've played some outstanding defense. Great. You should at 6'11". You have incredible instincts. Why not? But here's the thing, though. What have you done for the 76ers? I feel like Joel Embiid has carried the team more than Ben Simmons. They did get to the Eastern Conference Finals where they lost to Kawhi Leonard and company at the time. But again, they should be having there's no reason that Toronto Raptors team should have beat the 76ers. No reason. Because here's my thing. Ben Simmons, you should have always guarded Kawhi Leonard. You're stronger, probably. I don't know about stronger. Kawhi is pretty strong. You might be faster than Kawhi Leonard, and you're definitely longer and taller. You should be able to give him all type of problems. Yet Kawhi became Kawhi, and he did what he did, and he got a ring. And now I don't really see the Sixers being able to get that ring again, because especially after Giannis, which producer Alex definitely got upset with me with this situation. And I know I'm going on a rant, and I'll tell you why I'm upset with Ben Simmons and how he handled this whole offseason with the 76ers after signing what was 170 million plus 5-year deal. They committed to you after the playoffs that you had. After the playoffs you had, they still gave you a contract for 5 years, 170 plus million dollars. And you decide, I'm not going to show up to camp. It's it for me in Philly. I don't feel like doing this. I'm not going to do this.
And that's 20 million less than what Anthony Davis is making.
Is it?
Yes.
And Anthony Davis got a ring.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Producer Alex doing work right now. But I digress.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. Anthony Davis shoots.
How are you the second most paid player in your team? And you're not.
And you won't shoot the ball. You can't even shoot a free throw. What are we doing here? Why are we spending this money? I'm not mad at Philly for wanting to burn this man jersey. Do I think it's a bit much? Yes.
It's not if you consider how sports fanatics are.
Absolutely.
No.
I thought you was about to say how spoiled he is, because Ben Simmons is definitely. I think they coddled this man too much. And then Philly is definitely one of those. They're one of those cultures that if you give them their all, they will love you for it. But Ben Simmons, you're not shooting the ball. If you're not shooting the ball, are you giving it your all?
I didn't know that he was the first pick from 2016.
The first pick. Matter of fact, I
didn't remember that. And after seeing the list, I was like, well, it makes sense.
Who else was from the draft pick?
Yeah, I mean,
who else was on the draft?
You have Jaylen Brown.
Oh, you know what? The Sixers definitely could use a Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is balling. Matter of fact, first
was Ben Simmons. Second was Brandon Ingram.
Ooh,
and third was Jaylen Brown.
Sixers could have definitely used Brandon Ingram too. Sixers definitely could have. That's scoring right there. Mm-hmm. You're the BI and Joel Embiid. Yeah, that would have won them a ring right there too. That would have won them a ring for real. I think so. Brandon Ingram is doing numbers with New Orleans Pelicans right now. He's doing great. He's another all-star. Would you trade Ben Simmons for Ingram? I mean, New Orleans, slow down. When I ask that question, we don't want Ben Simmons. We definitely want to keep Brandon Ingram. But in the time of the trade, in the time of drafting, would you take Brandon Ingram over Ben Simmons? Just a question.
Do you think it was the pressure of being drafted number one that led to him being not a number one type player?
Well, here's the thing.
Because I feel like Ingram, Jaylen Brown, they all do great.
Let me ask you this question: Is Ben Simmons, is he living up to that number one draft pick? Is he living up to that number one draft pick title? Is he? He's far from a bust. Don't get me wrong. He is far from a bust. But when you're talking about putting together a championship caliber team and your window is very limited, think about it now. Giannis is in peak stride now. You're in trouble because you have Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and you got Giannis. Lopez is happy. All those boys playing happy together. They're a well-oiled machine, and they're gonna run it back. Are they going to win a championship this year? I don't know. Because the true question, and we'll talk about this in another topic, If Kyrie comes back to the Brooklyn Nets and the Nets hit full stride, I think they could win it all. Because honestly, again, we'll talk about that as a different topic for a different day. But the Nets could have won that game last year. They could have won a championship. All they had was Kevin Durant, basically. But we'll talk about that another time. But Ben Simmons, is he worth $170 million? And also, too, if you're another team looking at Ben Simmons, do you want Ben Simmons? Producer Alex, would you want Ben Simmons on your team?
No. Depends the team, but I don't.
If you're a team that could possibly
benefit from
the playoffs, if you are trying to make the playoffs, right? No. Like what teams could benefit from having Ben Simmons? And also, what are you willing to give up to have Ben Simmons? Is he worth what Philly's asking for?
He's not worth his salary, in my opinion. Like what he's asking for his contract, he's not worth it.
Is your team willing to give up future draft picks and pay $170 million for the next 5 years for Ben Simmons?
To be honest, to me, 4 years is enough to see how the flower will bloom, and it just doesn't look promising.
Okay, so I know they had beef back in the day, and I said this a long time ago, but a great spot for Russell Westbrook, I thought, would have been in Philly. I wouldn't be mad at a trade for a Russell Westbrook, and I think that those two teams would benefit. Obviously, I think you might have to give up more assets for Russell Westbrook maybe some other people or future draft picks. But I think the mentality of a Russell Westbrook, and I keep in mind, Joel Embiid and Russell Westbrook, they haven't been the best of friends over the years. But I think those two, with that type of mentality that both of them, I think, have, that would be a dangerous Philly team. And I think LeBron would be able to mentor a Ben Simmons and bring out Ben Simmons is who Ben Simmons is at this point in his career. So the only thing he needs to do is shoot. And I think LeBron could give him that confidence to shoot the ball and be a better player. And I think, and remember, you got upset with me, producer Alex, when I said Ben Simmons' ceiling is a Giannis Antetokounmpo at best, not a LeBron. There's two different style of players. And Giannis is a playmaking big man as well. And that's pretty much what Ben Simmons is, a playmaking big man. But again, he does not shoot from the outside. So again, my question is, who do you think Ben Simmons would benefit going to a team from? And honestly, this whole Kumbaya situation, let me just talk about that real quick. I know that Ben Simmons was he got suspended, kicked out of practices and things of that nature. And then all of a sudden, the Sixers organization, they had a Kumbaya circle where they were like, Ben, this is how we feel. And Ben was like, well, Sixers organization, this is how I feel. And all of a sudden, everybody's feeling better about it, everything. BS on that situation. What Philly really did was they got smart. They said, look, Ben, let us help you. We want you out of our jersey. We want you out of our organization. We want you out of Philly. But the only way we could do that is if we get your if we get your stock back up. You're not getting drafted again. Only way we can do that is if we get your stock back up. The only way to get your stock back up is if you come back on the court and try to, salvage this situation, because everybody else and all these other GMs are looking at Ben Simmons like, yo, this is how you treat your organization who's been behind you and backing you and giving you money and all this type of support. Why would we want you? And so if other organizations are asking the question, why would we want you? Then you have to now prove why they want you. And so Philly's like, the best way we can get rid of you is if you get on the court, show people what you can do. And hopefully maybe shoot every once in a while at least. I'm tired of these LA Fitness, Lifetime Fitness videos that you put up and then Bleacher Report puts it up like, yo, Ben Simmons is shooting in the gym. No, he's not shooting in the actual NBA gym, so I don't care. I just don't. Neither does any other GM who is managing a team. But again, I'm going to leave you with some questions. What's the best team that you think Ben Simmons could benefit from being on, and the team and Philly would benefit from making a trade to, make it happen with? Who would you like to see Ben Simmons with? That's another question. But again,
Sacramento Kings.
Man, I think Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons went to Sacramento Kings, he would easily be the star of that team, but I don't think Philly wants anything from Sacramento. You would have to give up Halliburton. You'd have to give up that young guy that the new point guard that they just drafted. He's nice.
Listen to this. The Kings finished with the worst defensive rating in the NBA last season.
Yeah, well, they're a young team. That's what happens with young teams. You got to figure out how to play together. But the Kings, I don't know. For right now,
I think that's the best thing he can offer is his defense.
This is true.
And experience, I guess.
But that's why I said the Lakers. The Lakers might actually benefit from that because the Lakers have known to be a big defensive team. So and then you don't really have to worry about too much shooting with the Lakers. I don't know why I feel like I just lied about that situation.
Wait, what?
I say you don't have to worry about shooting on the Lakers team.
No, you do, absolutely. It's all towers, right?
Yeah, this is true. I feel like I definitely lied once I said that. I let that slip and I was like, ooh, you might need some more shooting on that team. I don't know if Ben would be the way to go. But then again, like I said, what are you willing to give up for Ben Simmons? And honestly, I don't even think the Lakers at this point in time could even make a move for Ben Simmons.
To be honest, the teams that would benefit from Ben Simmons would be just like the example with the Kings. A young team that is not really defensive and needs help with, that department.
Defensive assignments. And because Ben Simmons.
Minnesota, maybe.
No, I don't mess with Minnesota. No. Minnesota, we're going to have another topic. Might too soon to tell postseason playoff teams. I got something for you Minnesota fans out there. I think Minnesota's in a good place this year. I could be wrong. Again, too soon to tell, but we'll talk about it. Ben Simmons, what to do with him? What do you think about Ben Simmons? What do you think about this whole situation? Holla at your boy. Let me know. That's going to be it for this one. I'm out. Peace, love. Follow me on the socials, and we'll get back with you.